Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code KELLER20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code KELLER20.
Greenhalgh in with you this week as Mike Farwell is on vacation. He will be back in the studio on Monday. Until then, we get to have some fun. We were just listening to the last great American rock and roll band, the Kings of Leon, with the song Closer. If you have not heard of the Kings of Leon or only heard a few of their songs, do yourself a favor and hop onto Spotify or whatever it is that you use and go through their catalog. Lots on the agenda today. A local runner and Instagram sensation joins us to talk about a new fundraising initiative. We'll discuss the possibility of Pierre Poilievre beating out 200 other candidates in an Alberta by-election where you have to write in the name of the person you are voting for. KW Oktoberfest is just 45 days away. We will have a check-in with organizers. Goats have been spotted in the city of Kitchener, the newest employees of the city. We will talk with the owner of the business, Goats in the City. University of Guelph professor will join us later on to talk about the plight of honeybees. It is not good right now. And it is our monthly mental health check-in with the Canadian Mental Health Association. But don't forget, from noon until 1 o'clock today, it is your turn. Talkback runs for the final hour of the show. In the meantime, time for the Farwell Show 5. Again, we are going to try and keep things as close to regular, normal as possible around here. 5 stories to start your day off on the right foot. Here we go. The Kitchener Rangers have announced a bid to host the 2027 Memorial Cup. CEO Joe Birch says the timing is right. Our fan base deserves it. Speaking of the Kitchener Rangers, this year's edition of the Fan Fest is set for Sunday, August 31st from 11 a.m. until 2 at the Odd. Admission is free. You can stop by to take part in some games, some rides, an autograph session. You might even get your chance to meet the one and only Mike Farwell. Blue Jays back at it tonight at the Rogers Center, taking on the senior circuit's Chicago Cubs. The two teams sport almost identical winning records. Don't forget, it is also Looney Dog Night. Don't go overboard. Last time the numbers were something like 75,000 hot dogs consumed. My goodness. Volunteers at the Radha Krishna Mandir's outreach group stepped up in a big way this summer, delivering over 1,400 backpacks to the Waterloo Regional Police for their annual Backpack Challenge. And if you're just rolling out of bed and you haven't heard the news yet, for all you Swifties out there, album number 12 is on the way Taylor Swift has announced a new album, The Life of a Showgirl. There is your Farwell 5 for Tuesday, August what are we at today? Is it the 12th today? Oh my gosh. August is quickly running away. Slow down, August. We talked about this yesterday. Sipping the days. If you sip it slow, the world stays sweet. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. You can also reach us toll-free, 1-800-570-5715. We started off yesterday talking about 100 ways that you could live a cool life. We got through about 30 of them, maybe. We're going to continue with them until we just run out of the list. And this might, again, generate some discussion. Always hopeful. Always looking to see if the phone lines are going to light up. Last time I was in for the week, I had the mayor of Waterloo call me. I had David Schooley give me a call as well, too. If there's something on your mind, the phone lines are always open. We want to hear from you, no matter what. It could be a rant. It could be a rave. You don't have to wait until noon. If there's something on your mind right now, you can make that happen. Here, going down the list again, ways to live a cool life. Admit your greatest fear. I don't know if I'm there yet. Cook for a new friend. Now, yesterday, I mentioned that Devin was my friend. Maybe I'm going to have to cook for him. We can make that happen. Not to worry. Read a book you think you'll probably hate. I'll leave that one with you. Send a note to the person you first kissed. Dun, dun, dun. I'd have to go back through my memory banks. I can't even think. Play a new sport. Pickleball. I've never played it. I'd like to learn how to play it. If there's any pickleball people out there and there's an opening somewhere, maybe I'll give that a shot. Solve a petty crime. I find that we do this quite often in our home. The crime might be who left open the cupboard, who took the money off the counter, who stole my deodorant out of the bathroom. I'm constantly solving petty crimes. My wife is really good at it as well, too. She'll even set things up. Last one to think about before we take a break. Invent something. There you go. You can live a cool life like that. If you invent something, give us a call. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. When we come back, we are going to have a talk with an Instagram sensation. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. A few weeks back, I was filling in for Mike, and I got a call out of the blue, first-time caller. He mentioned that he'd recently posted a video on Instagram, and it had resonated with a lot of people. I was intrigued, so at a break, I checked it out. I asked my producer to have the gentleman call back in again so we could talk further, and since then, we have talked through email and through Messenger and everything over and over again. And I wanted to have him back on the show today. Jovica Savic came to Canada as an immigrant a quarter of a century ago with his family, forced from his home in the former Yugoslavia. He and his family found a new home. He mentions in his video that Canada was the only country that would take them in. He wasn't born here, but he is Canadian. His Instagram account is Yahtzee Runs, YATZIRUNS. If you need to renew your faith in humanity, take a few minutes to watch some of his videos. Do yourself a favor. Jovica joins me today. Thanks so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. It's appreciated.
Let me tell you, I'm guessing the last few weeks have been a little crazy for you. What's it been like?
It's been surreal, actually. I mean, getting 11,000 messages across some platforms and trying to get back to all as many people as possible. It's next to damn near impossible, but I've tried my best, and it's just some of these messages, other refugees and other immigrants and Canadians alike, and just the love and the hope is wonderful.
You've got a plan in the works. Tell me a bit about the plan. What's happening? Yeah,
so I mean, once this all happened, I really want to use this little platform that I even have right now. I mean, I went from 300 followers to over 11,000 in a very short amount of time.
Wow.
And to use this wisely, I think. So I'm going to be doing on November 8th, so Saturday, November 8th, I'm going to be doing a run around the perimeter of Kitchener. So it'll be a total of about 51 kilometers.
All right.
I'll try and make it 51.9 to do the 519. That'll be cool. But I'm trying to raise awareness and money for the less fortunate in our community. I'm sure you're well aware, Brock, that I think right now we have I think the stats say around 2,300 Canadians who are struggling in our area and
You're right.
who are either on the streets or using different organizations and shelters. So I think to bring awareness to these things would be a very good use of the platform that I do have.
So there is a GoFundMe campaign, listeners, and here's what's going to happen. If you go on to GoFundMe and you search up Yahtzee Runs for Hope, you will come to his page. The goal on GoFundMe is set at just $7,500. We're around the $326 mark right now. It's just getting started, but we know that the folks who listen to the show and their friends can go on there and will make a difference. We know all of the funds are going to be going to help the homeless here in the region. So over the span of today and the rest of this week, we'll keep checking in on that GoFundMe campaign, and we want to see that number shoot through the roof. And this is your chance, listeners, to get involved with Yahtzee Runs. This is what it's all about. When we take a look at it, and you talked about this right off the hop, over 10,000 comments on your video. I get reading through those comments, and I got to tell you, Jovica, it hits the feels, because these are the people that you're talking to and you're talking about, and your story is echoed 10,000-fold.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you goosebumps, and that, especially that first weekend, I think all of Sunday, I spent just reading comments, essentially just sitting, tearing up, crying. Just, there's so many stories of, a mother who chose to, obviously she didn't choose to, but Canada brought her in and with her son, and now her son is safe here. And, there's so many stories of refugees and immigrants, and Canada is the safe haven for that. And I think that we need to remember just how lucky we are to be here. I mean, amidst all of the stuff going on, and, just when you really take a look and realize how lucky we truly are.
And we said before, we're a country of immigrants and refugees. We've all come from somewhere else, and there was a reason why we came here. And those reasons vary depending on who you speak to. We've talked about the idea that sometimes you are pushed out of your country when the former Yugoslavia falls into chaos. Sometimes you're pulled into a country by a new employment, whatever it happens to be. But that's a huge jump for people. If I've been lucky, I've said this before, I'm the first generation of immigrants who came to Canada back after World War II. I can't imagine going across the Atlantic Ocean back in the late 1940s, and if you're going to communicate with your family, there's no phones back in those days, really, that you could have maybe once or twice a year. it's a huge change to your life, but you think that there is a better life for you ahead, and why shouldn't you be able to go and find a better life? Listen, are you willing to stick around for a little bit? I do need to take a quick break, but if you stick around, we can chat for a little bit longer.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Give us a call. We're going to continue our conversation. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break, but come right back. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh with you this week as Mike gets some time to relax. No relaxing for this guy, though. Jovica Savic is gearing up for a 51-kilometer run around the edge of Kitchener. I love the phrase that he's got at the bottom of his GoFundMe page. Let's run the edge and bring everyone in. Jovica, I'm going to give you the final words. What do people need to know, and how do we move forward?
There's really two things. I've recently, I got in contact with a, kind of a big organization in our area, Ray of Hope.
Yes.
So they're going to be probably the primary receiver, essentially, of the donations.
Lovely.
They do great work. And one other piece of big news, the company that I work for is Empire Exteriors, and they've actually pledged a portion of all sales in the month of October.
Awesome.
Which is awesome. I mean, this is nothing new to them. They donate a bunch of cooked meals, every month. It's probably been thousands of meals by now. They've been amazing.
That's what it's all about. It's about community and coming together. And thanks for spearheading this, and thanks for giving us a call a few weeks ago. And out of the blue, it came up on the screen. Like I said, first time caller, but that wasn't going to be your last time for sure. Listen, I've got a few other pieces of information I'll pull right now from the GoFundMe campaign. Other ways that you can help: you can donate anything, big or small. It all adds up. Share the story. Share Yahtzee runs on your socials. If you own or work at a business, maybe there's a way to match those donations. And the funds, the ultimate goal is $25,000, and that is going to be going, as we just learned, to Ray of Hope, who are their frontline workers, and they're going to be doing the work. We've got 2,300 Canadians, 2,300 brothers and sisters on the streets who need our help, and that's what it's all about. So again, thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Brock. Can I say one last thing?
Go for it.
I have a brother-in-law who has been a listener for probably about 20 years now, Mahar Chambers. That man listens to the show every single morning. I had to shout him out. Thanks,
Mahar, and thanks. Share the word. You go and do you. Get back to training.
That's right.
All right.
Thank you, Brock.
Thanks take care.
Again. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Jovica Savic. He's going to be doing some running. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, 1-800-570-5715. We will get an update from the News Center. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero-sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code KELLER20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code KELLER20.
You turned to me on election night with powder in your hair. Well, part of me's and excuse me, ma'ams, coalesced out of the heat in the air. I saw you then.
Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. The song you're listening to right now is Election Night by a Canadian band, Long Range Hustle. Election Night, appropriate for our next topic. Advanced polls closed last night in the Alberta federal riding of Battle River Crowfoot. The by-election was called after Conservative MP Damien Carrick stepped down to allow Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre to run. Carrick had won more than 82% of the vote back in the April election. Poilievre had lost his Ottawa area riding of Carleton in that exact same election. Julie Simmons is an associate professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Guelph, and she joins us this morning. Good morning, Julie.
Good morning, Brock.
Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Oh, I'm happy to do so.
So the advanced polls are now closed with 200 candidates vying for one position. What sort of problems did that pose for Elections Canada?
Well, the main issue for Elections Canada was that they had to come up with a way that people would be able to communicate their, who they wanted to support in a really efficient way.
Right.
And the best way to do that was, according to Elections Canada, was to have people write on a ballot who it was that they support. This was in lieu of having 214 names on a very long ballot and then asking people to find their preferred candidate among those alphabetized names.
The one question I have is, what if I spelled the person's name wrong? Are they still going to accept my ballot?
They would, in fact. So that is one of the things that Elections Canada has said. As long as they can figure out who it is that you are supporting, then they can, certainly throw that in the right pile. But we also don't know really what the consequences of this approach will be for the number of spoiled ballots. Like, will it be more or will it be less than in a normal election because perhaps people's handwriting can't be read, or it's hard to know. So it'll be interesting to see.
It's the longest ballot committee. They're behind this, really. They're connected to many of the candidates in the riding, and they're calling for changes to the first past the post system. In your mind, does this sort of protest carry a lot of weight, or is it just a pain for a lot of people?
Well, I think the intention of the longest ballot committee is to ensure that any kind of reform of our electoral system is done not by political individuals who have a stake in the outcome, but rather by some kind of an independent committee. And so, that's, I think, they haven't. They're a little vague on the kind of electoral reform that they're looking for. Right. But I think that these actions have certainly drawn more attention
for sure
to this particular by-election. And, maybe for some voters, they think that this is kind of making a mockery of the electoral system to have all of these names on the ballot. But on the other hand, there might be some people that say that, this is making a mockery of the electoral system because Pierre Poilievre ran in a riding in which he does have ties in the last election, and he lost.
Exactly.
And he has now been able to, parachute himself into this new constituency where the Conservatives are very strong. And I think there's probably a lot of voters there that feel that, yes, we are conservative voters historically, and we'll probably vote conservative again, but it might not be the decision that they're making with happy hearts, given that they've lost that sort of connection between their local elected MP, who was Damien Carrick, and what's going on in Ottawa. So,
and despite that increase in choice, this riding, as you said, it's consistently sent a Conservative MP to Ottawa going back, 70, 80 years. Is there a possibility somehow that Mr. Poilievre doesn't get that seat in the House of Commons?
Well, there's, I think, always a possibility, but it's a very, 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 very narrow possibility because of the strength of the conservative vote at riding, and just looking at the sign campaign. There's lots of conservative signs on lots of properties there. The events that he's been turning out to, he has some people who have expressed concerns and are unhappy, but there's definitely a lot of support there.
I'm wondering if we will see a contrite and thankful Mr. Poilievre once he's back in the House of Commons, or how he will handle it. As you said, you've been parachuted into a spot with, it's like, hey, Damien, just do us a favor, just step aside, because we need this win. What's your thoughts on how this sort of shapes everything going into the fall?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that once Poilievre is back in Ottawa, his attention will turn directly to, critiquing what it is that the elected government is doing, and holding Carney's feet to the fire in whatever way he wants to, in terms of the Prime Minister's decisions that are being made currently vis-a-vis the United States and so on, and major infrastructure projects. These are the things that are going to, I think, be front and center for Mr. Poilievre. I don't think that he is going to be so concerned about the individual goings-on in the riding that he will now be representing.
No.
But the same could be said, really, of a lot of MPs, because the reality is that we have very, very strong party discipline in our version of parliamentary democracy. So it's almost always the case that even if you do have a member of parliament that is a resident in your riding, that the odds of them voting against what the central party tells them to do is extremely low. So, there's also that to consider as well.
We'll just have to wait and see what happens on August the 18th. I want to thank you for your time today, Julie, and I know you're busy, but we're going to keep the conversation going on this end, and all the best as we head back into the fall and move into not only school, but also moving back into the next sitting of the House of Commons as well.
Yes, I think we'll all be excited to see, with so many new players, what happens going forward.
And we'll chat again.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks, Brock.
Thanks, Julie.
Okay.
That was Julie Simmons, an associate professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Guelph, just talking about Pierre Poilievre getting him parachuted in and hoping, fingers crossed, that he gets elected this time around. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a break, but stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
He has now been able to parachute himself into this new constituency, and I think there's probably a lot of voters there that feel that, yes, we are conservative voters historically and will probably vote conservative again, but it might not be the decision that they're making with happy hearts, given that they've lost that sort of connection between their local elected MP, who was Damien Carrick, and what's going on in Ottawa.
That was Julie Simmons. She is an associate professor in the Department of Political Science at the University of Guelph, talking about the by-election in Alberta. Brock Greenhalgh's with you right now, filling in for Mike Farwell this week. So the way that it goes, Pierre Poilievre does not get elected into his riding in Ottawa-Carleton back in April. Still the leader of the federal Conservative Party, but does not have a seat in the House of Commons. Standing on the outside looking in. Inner workings in the party, they find someone willing to step out of their spot, Damien Carrick, in the riding of Battle River Crowfoot. Damien won that seat with 82% of the vote. Now, in this by-election, there are over 200 candidates listed for this one spot. It's impossible, really, to print off a ballot sheet with 214 names on it. Instead, what they have had to do in the run up to the election, which is going to be on the 18th. In the advanced polls, you just wrote the name of the person that you would like to vote for. But Julie brings up a good point. What if it's a spoiled ballot? What if you're writing in a name and no one can figure out what it says, or your chicken scratch, whatever it happens to be? Those are some of the headaches that Elections Canada had to deal with. Julie is saying that really, no matter what, it looks as though this will work in the favor of the Conservative Party. For the last 70 or 80 years, it has been a Conservative riding. But it's an election. Anything can happen on any given day. We'll wait and see what happens. Does it leave a bad taste in your mouth, whether you voted Conservative or not, that the leader of the party doesn't get in, but is now going to come in the side door? And what does that say? What does that say to Damien Kirk, who ran a great campaign, was given the support of the people in the community? From the party's point of view, does the right thing and steps aside? I don't know. What do you think about it? Give us a call. Let us know your thoughts. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Lots to talk about today, and we were just talking with, I'm just going to pull up the GoFundMe campaign here again. And looking at where we're at. I'm just going to keep hitting the refresh button. So Jovica Savic was on with us, and we were talking about his Instagram posts through Yahtzee runs, and it's making a difference. You're starting to follow along, and we're seeing the number jump up. Before we had the show, the interview with him, it was sitting at $326. It's over $400 now. So keep doing it. Check it out and send it along through all of your socials. The ultimate goal is $25,000. Ray of Hope is where the money will land. They're the frontline workers to get the help to the homeless in our community. So you can do the right thing and be a part of all of those things. That's where we're at today. This is how we're making a difference today on a Tuesday. And we're moving forward. It's pretty powerful stuff when you get to see these things in action. Because from this side of the microphone, as Mike has shown us, we know we have over 100 listeners, at least. We're tapping you on the shoulder to say, hey, give us a hand with something. Last thing to think about before we take another quick break. I like this one. Create a logo for yourself. And with Chat GPT and all of those things that are out there right now, what would your logo be if you created your own logo? I'll leave you with that. We'll take a quick break. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for the vacationing Mike Farwell this week. Never fear, he will return on Monday. I have the privilege, the honor of talking with one David Schooley. Good morning, David. What's happening today?
Brock, how are you?
I'm better now that you've called.
You're way too kind. You're way too kind. So, you know what? I had a couple things on my mind, and I'm always one to call in only when I have something on my mind.
Go for it.
So I heard something on the news, and Remax was talking about how your messy neighbor could affect your house sale.
Correct.
You know what? How many times I've had my sellers cut the grass of the neighbors. There's a quick selling tip. But that's not really why I called this morning. I just wanted to do a shout out to everybody that came out to our Panthers game. We had a record crowd on last week with kindly supported by Schlegel, Rob Schlegel, and all of his organization. And you know what? It was a terrific night. We had over 1,100 people.
It's great to see those numbers.
What we needed to do, though, to accommodate those 1,100 people was to borrow a barbecue from the Portuguese Club and to barbecue all those hot dogs and sausages. And lo and behold, the next morning we went back to pick it up to take it back, and someone stole that barbecue.
Come on.
Inside the lock compound. So, you know what? I just thought I would reach out and shout out. And if you see if you were at the game and you saw that big barbecue, and if you see it in the back of someone's pickup truck, let us know, because we have to buy a new barbecue for the Portuguese Club, and we thank them so much for the use of it. But, you know, that's not a great use of our funds.
No,
right?
No.
So, this morning I'm going over at 11 o'clock to meet with someone. We're going to put in some new seating behind home plate. That's where we want to invest our funds.
Absolutely.
In the Panthers, and, we've got a new scoreboard and all of those things. But I just wanted to, put it out there in the community. And if you see somebody with a new barbecue that you don't know how they got it, just let us know. We would love to hear. We'd love to hear how they got it out. I have no idea.
Oh my! Big. We'll get the word out for sure, David. It's a big game coming up on Sunday. You're playing the Jackfish. Jackfish ended up in first place, but this is like David and the Giant Killers.
Well, I'm going to tell you a quick story. I'm unfortunately not going to be there. I would love to be there, but I'm taking my brother to West Virginia to spread my sister-in-law's ashes.
I'm sorry that you're having to do that, but thanks for.
No, you know what? It's time. We lost her about a year and a half ago, and she was an integral part of the Titans organization and did so much for us. But we'll be watching on YouTube. So anybody that wants to watch that game, if you can't make it out, you can check it out on YouTube. And Brock, maybe we'll see you out for the playoffs.
Absolutely, I'm going to be there. I've even been invited to sit up in the media booth. So look out.
Ooh. Okay. Well, we might have to, call you in for doing a little guest announcements or something.
I'm happy to do whatever you need me to do, David. Thanks so much, and good luck with the trip down to the States.
Yeah, thank you so much. Enjoy your day.
Right, you too. David Schooley giving us a call, and it's great to hear from him, even though if it's not good news. Portuguese Club loans a barbecue to the KW Panthers, Kitchener Panthers, and it is stolen. So keep your eyes peeled, all right? We'll figure this one out. Stay with us. The clock on the wall says it's time to get an update from the News Center. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero-sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
The girl works at the store, sweet Jane St. Clair, was dazzled by her smile while I shopped there. Long before I lived with her.
Brock Greenhalgh in for the vacationing Mike Farwell this week. Never fear, he will be back in the studio on Monday. The sweet sounds of the Bare Naked Ladies. Jane St. Clair. Have you ever been to Jane and St. Clair in Toronto? It isn't what the song paints it to be. Jane, that's the name of the girl they're singing about, but the intersection of Jane and St. Clair is a different story. Plans for this year's edition of KW Oktoberfest quickly coming together. Canadian music legend has signed on to be the headliner for the October 10th show at the Circle K stage in downtown Kitchener. Tracy Van Kalsbeek is the executive director of KW Oktoberfest. She joins us this morning. Welcome to the show, Tracy.
Good morning, Brock. How are you?
I'm well. So 57th annual Oktoberfest is going to get underway in just about 45 days. Is your head spinning right now?
I live Oktoberfest every day.
It's like those people that have their Christmas decorations up all year long, and you've got your dirndl and you're all set.
I got my dirndl, I got my lederhosen, I've got it all.
Where
Yep.
are you right now? What's happening, and what's where are you at with the planning stages right now?
Yeah, so, it is full steam ahead, as you can imagine, with, less than 2 months away to the festival, and there's just so much going on. So with our Willkommenplatz, which is downtown Kitchener, on Thanksgiving weekend, we have all free programming, and I have had so many people, now that we've done the announcement about Stephen Page, which we're so excited to welcome him here this year, to say, it's free to go and see Stephen Page. They can't believe it. They're just so excited, and it's just, it's been a really, really great last week of people just getting super stoked and super pumped up about coming back out to Oktoberfest again. And they can see Stephen Page, but they can also see the Watchmen on Saturday night. We've got our Polka King, Walter Ostmark.
Yes.
That man is a legend unto himself, and he is still playing and rocking the stage with us. We've got UN Jefferson and Jesse T. There's so much going on with our Willkommenplatz this year.
We really are blessed in this region when it comes to free events, people coming out. We just came through the Blues Fest, and again, except for the one paid event, everything else was free. And here we go again. Oktoberfest rolls around, and another slew of great music that you can go out and check out. Any other surprises that are up your sleeves right now for this year's edition of Oktoberfest?
Well, this year, because we had to have more jobs to do. Just kidding. But we're adding a road hockey tournament this year.
Oh, awesome.
As part of our programming on Thanksgiving weekend, too. So it's called Sticks and Steins. It's a ball hockey tournament. And then we're also doing an under-19 Hockey with Hans version.
Oh, all right.
The Friday of Thanksgiving weekend is a PA day.
Yes.
And so, kids can come out. They can play some road hockey and with Hans, Uncle Hans. And then, the Saturday and Sunday is for the 19 plus. There's a beer garden and all that kind of fun stuff there, too. So, we're really excited to be bringing on that edition this year. And there's also another key component, too, where we are working with our friends at Farm Food Care, and we're bringing Farmtoberfest this year to downtown Kitchener as well. And so we're bringing a little bit of rural into the urban area. So we'll have equipment and animals and all sorts of rural activations and whatnot. And that'll be on the Friday as well, which is the official keg tapping day for those of you that want to join us at noon.
How many hours do you have in your day, Tracy? It sounds like it's more than 24. Do you sleep? Do you sleep at all?
I don't sleep a lot, no.
I don't want to give anything away because maybe, I've been out of the loop for a couple of days. We were in Montreal, so I kind of turned everything off. Has a parade marshal been announced yet?
We haven't announced our parade marshal yet, no.
We'll keep that. We're going to keep that under wraps for right now. And it's one of those things where it grows and it morphs and it changes, and you're always able to adapt. And I know that one of the big pushes over the last decade, for example, is getting younger people, and I mean the families to come back and come out to these events, because it's 57 years. It has to change and adapt with the times, and I'm guessing you see that as well.
Yeah, our community looks very different today than it did 57 years ago. And so, a big focus for our festival is to ensure that it's welcoming and inclusive of folks. And so, that's looking through that welcoming lens of going to events where it's not going to cost you a lot of money to be able to go, so that everybody can enjoy being Bavarian for a day. Also, like food, making sure we have other food products available, because they're, not everybody eats pork products, as an example.
Right.
You look at, wearing Tracht and lederhosen and dirndls. They're, if you go for the authentic, they're not cheap. But, making sure that we have other, items that, T-shirts that have lederhosen on them, and they cost you $30, and you can still feel a part of the party, So, yeah, definitely looking through that inclusive and welcoming lens is important for us. And what we've been able to do, I feel, with the downtown program with the Vilcom and Platts is really bringing it all together.
I'm guessing you're always on the lookout for volunteers. If someone is wanting to give some of their time, what do they need to do?
Yes, they just go to oktoberfest.ca and click on volunteers. We can always use volunteers. It's a lot of fun. I was a volunteer myself for close to 20 years before I took over this role. And, it really is a really big family at the end of the day. And we have so many incredible volunteers that are like decades into volunteering with us. And they're really the heart of everything that we do at the festival.
We know you're busy, Tracy. I don't want to keep you, but keep doing what you're doing, and we'll keep the conversation going, and we'll send some volunteers your way as well, too.
Amazing. That would be wunderbar, Brock. Thank you so much.
Enjoy the rest of your day, Tracy, and stay cool.
Yeah, thanks. You too.
That was Tracy Van Kalsbeek. She is the executive director of KW Oktoberfest. Always looking for volunteers. If you're looking for a way to get involved, go down and check out, listen to Stephen Page. It's going to be free. You can be a part of that. The Watchmen are going to be there as well, too. There's a road hockey tournament going on. All of this at the Vilcom and Platts right in downtown Kitchener. It's only 45 days away when it gets started, and it is a heck of a good time. October the 10th is when Stephen is going to be taking to the stage. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Super stoked and super pumped up about coming back out to Oktoberfest again. And they can see Stephen Page, but they can also see the Watchmen on Saturday night. We've got our Polka King, Walter Ostermark.
Yes.
That man is a legend unto himself, and he is still playing and rocking the stage with us. We've got UN Jefferson and Jesse T. There's so much going on with our Vilcom and Platts this year.
That was Tracy Van Kalsbeek. She is the executive director with KW Oktoberfest. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. Tracy was giving us a rundown of all of the things that are going to be happening at Oktoberfest this year. 45 days away. If you check out the website, all of the information that you're looking for. Going to be running from September 26th. Hey, that's my brother's birthday. Until October the 18th. Lots of things to take in. The events, the fest hall, if you're looking to volunteer, traditions, the background information, all of those things. You want to go shopping. Just clicked on the shopping page. It's never a good thing. I can get myself a t-shirt. Let's see what I'm looking at here. There's hats, hockey jerseys. There you go. Sticks and Steins. I know that there is a set of 570 News Radio hockey jerseys. We're borrowing some. We're borrowing 4 for this golf tournament tomorrow. Maybe there's enough. And maybe there's enough interest. Planting seeds in people's brains right now. Maybe there's enough interest for a 570 News Radio road hockey team. With my new knee, I'll stand on the sidelines and cheer you on. I can be your coach. Right, we'll talk off the air. We'll figure all that stuff out. Lots of things to still talk about today as well, too, as we head through the rest of the morning. We're going to talk goats out at 10:30 this morning. They've been brought in to help do some landscaping in the city. That's one thing. We're going to talk. This story is one of those ones that just it has such an impact across lots of angles. We're going to be talking with a doctor or a professor from the University of Guelph. More honeybees are dying across their study, Canada, the United States, around the world, trying to figure out why that is, how we can stop it from continuing. 11:30 this morning, we are going to have our monthly mental health check-in. Helen Fishburne, she's the CEO of CMHA, Waterloo, Wellington. She's going to be joining us. We'll have that monthly check-in with that. And then from noon until 1 o'clock, it's your turn. Your turn to get on, shake your fist at the clouds, give props to the people who need them. Lots of good things going on. We know that these things are happening, and this is your panel. I pull the soapbox out for you. You climb on board, and you have at her. let's go back to our list of how to live a cool life, shall we? We finished off with creating a logo for yourself. Hop onto Chat GPT. Maybe you can create one. It might look like all of the other ones too, but that's a possibility. Teach anything. We've all got skills. We've all got skills that we can share. Thinking about the things that you can teach, what would you be able to share with other people? Maybe it's a love of photography. Maybe it is a love of music. Maybe you're a step dancer. You can teach these things to other people. Use your favorite movie lines in casual conversation. Check that box off all the time. Are you that person who someone says something to you and the first thing you do is come up with a lyric from a song and you either start singing it to them and they have no idea what you're doing? That might be part of the, what did we talk about yesterday? Oh, we talked about being hyper rather than being labeled with ADHD. But then that might be one of those traits that we were talking about. Own a cool wallet. And when I say cool, I mean like a Velcro wallet with a Judas Priest logo on the outside of it. Every time Devin opens up his wallet, you hear the Velcro rip open, and he reaches in and he pulls out stacks of cash. That's what he's able to do with his Judas Priest wallet. I'm giving all his secrets away. Own a cool wallet. Do you even have a wallet anymore? Do you have one that's attached to a chain that's hooked up to your pocket? Motivate a friend to aim for that job change. I like that one. Maybe you've got a side hustle. Maybe you keep saying, one of these days I'm going to be doing this. I want to take a look at it. And actually, the goat story leads into that. I believe the gentleman we're going to speak to was connected to the real estate world for a little while. And now he is a goat herder going into communities to clean up areas that are overgrown. We're just going to keep going through the list. These apply in so many different ways. Maybe one of those things has resonated with you. We can talk about it. You can always give us a call. Let us know what's on your mind. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. We will take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. We've got time for a few phone calls before we make our way to the newsroom. Andre, you have been patiently waiting. What's on your mind this morning, Andre?
It's nice to hear David Schooley.
Yeah, it's too bad that was the story that he had to tell, but...
I'd like to add on that.
Yes.
Mike Farwell's got a jack wagon.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Do we think we need to add someone to the to Jack Wagon jail?
Yeah. Because you know what, the person who took that, he's thinking about the money or whatever it is.
Yeah.
It's pocket change. It's the moral of it.
Yeah.
And it's always like that. But the thing is that if this person comes out and says, "Hey, you know what? I took it. I was stupid. Mark Farwell and Brock is going to keep me out of jail." And
we'll do our part.
Because court will keep him out of jail.
Yeah.
But for maybe he'll get a month, right?
Right.
This jack wagon, he'll be recognized from the KW and surrounding forever, and you don't want that tag.
No, and you know what, and when we look at it through that serious lens, people think, oh, it's a harmless crime. There's no victims. Well, yeah, there's victims because the Portuguese club are out a barbecue, and then that means that the Panthers have to give money that they were using to improve the stadium. I don't know, and at the end of the day, you say, okay, well, why? Why would somebody do that? Well, as you said, it's pocket change. It's it's someone who's going to just take it for the medal or whatever it happens to be. Come on now.
And you know what? Like my mom said, the world's round always comes back. But Brock, I want to know also something.
Yes.
This weekend I had always a great time with the kids in my neighborhood, and they talk about you.
Oh no.
Now who you are?
Yes.
As a teacher.
Oh.
Thank you very much for doing that, because that was going to be one of my goals in the future. And I thank you very much for what you do. And, think twice about your retirement. Unless you want to go work for the Florida Panthers.
Ooh, I could do that.
Then I can come see you and still pick at you.
Okay, all right, we can do that. No, I got a couple of years left, but thanks for those kind words. I appreciate that, Andre. Thanks so much for the phone call, and it's nice to hear those things. Paula, what's on your mind this morning, Paula?
Hi, hi Brock. How are you doing?
I'm better now that you called.
That's great. It's my birthday today.
Happy birthday.
I was just picking up my Starbucks and heading home, and I was listening to you, and I was wondering about that cool life list.
Yes,
Is this something you came up with, or is there a place that I can find it? Because the two or three that you mentioned, I'm like, that is so cool.
I found it in a folder that we're clearing out our basement right now. So what I'll do is I will see where I got it from. I printed it off somewhere. There's no website or anything, but I'll do some digging, Paula, and I will share that as soon as I can find it, and I can post it to our Facebook page as well too.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much.
Enjoy your
And good luck
birthday.
tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Take care. I'll do my part and get that information out there. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We will get an update from the news center. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero-sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for the vacationing Mike Farwell today. He will be back in the building on Monday. If you happened to be along Boniface Avenue in Kitchener last week, you would have seen the latest work crew hired by the city of Kitchener, 50 goats. We're not talking the greatest of all time. 50 goats were brought in to help clear out some overgrown brush in the area. Ian Matthews is the owner of a company called Goats in the City, and he joins us this morning. Good morning, Ian. Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Morning, Brock. It's a pleasure.
How did everything go last week over on Boniface Avenue?
It went great. The goats always outperform what people think they're going to do. And when you condense 50 goats in a small spot, it really looks impressive. And I must say, the residents of the area was very nice to us.
Nice.
Offering us water for ourselves and water for the goats.
Oh, my.
So we had a lot of fun. A lot of people took videos and pictures and post them on Facebook and other places, and that's how people get to know what we do.
Now, you were involved in the real estate business. How did you land on a job like this?
Yes, I always had goats in my life from when I was a kid in Jamaica, and at age 11 I had 50 goats. So I'm used to handling goats. Mm-hmm. But when I came to Canada, I became a mortgage broker and did the professional stuff. I never saw myself the future with goats. But my dad had a few goats,
Right.
and he was getting older. He couldn't handle it anymore, so I started helping him out. And then, the bug bit.
Right.
And I fell in love with them all over again, so I had to find a way to make a living from it. So hence Goats in the City.
And I noticed, I was reading up on it, they're not just employees, they're family members. You've got names for them.
Absolutely.
Oh, my.
Each goat have their own name,
Yes.
and their family and their attitude to it. Goats are very much individuals, you know.
When you roll in to do a job, you've got the 50 goats, there's yourself. Who else is in your crew?
Okay, so we normally have, depending on the site, we normally have, for instance, when it's close to residential areas like this, we normally have a crew of 2 eco-shepherds.
Okay.
And their job is to make sure that the goat is stayed contained in the area, make sure they have enough water, and they're doing good. And normally we split the area up into smaller pens so that we can watch their performance, because if not, the goats just keep walking up and down and you won't see the effects.
Right.
So we make small fence, and then when they're finished one area, move them to the next and so forth. So his job is to take care of the project, make sure it progresses the way we want, and to really take care of my babies.
When you came in to do the work over in Kitchener, how many days were you here?
Oh, just there for one day.
Okay.
It's a pilot project. When we start negotiating or talking to municipalities, or even a company, MTO, for instance, hired us for this project, nobody really knows what to expect. So we normally do a pilot project, a short term, just to show the effects, and then the decision can be made whether or not we go forward with a contract doing similar areas. You know,
it's a great idea, and I know that you've had some contract work done in Toronto. How's that gone in Toronto?
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah,
this is our second year, and we are actually contracted now for the next 5 years.
Awesome.
With the city and Mississauga as well, contracted for the next 2 years, with the possibility of extending it to another 2 or 3. So we work with golf courses. You now can find your balls. Okay.
I would need your services all of the time, Ian. Let me tell you.
Absolutely.
So when they're on site, they're working. Do you have neighbors come up that want to pet them, or are they kind of like off limits while they're working?
For the most part, that's what we want to happen.
Yeah.
But it doesn't really happen that way. But and we Goats in the City. The aim is to bring back goats back into our community.
Right.
So
right.
Our goats are actually trained, and we start touching the babies from they're small, so they bond with people.
Yes.
So they can be petted and stuff like that. And when the occasion allows, we allow people to get close, because we want them to feel connected with the animals, and to be part of our future.
You're based in King City, is that right?
That's correct.
So right now you've got sort of this radius around King City. Any thoughts down the road of setting up satellite sites in other parts of the province?
I'm happy you asked that. Our aim is to issue franchises, because we're getting a lot of response, even from Vancouver Island.
Oh my!
All over the country, and so our aim is to find people that are, environmentally conscious.
Yes.
And people who love animals, and issue franchises. Because sometimes we have contracts that we can't physically get to.
Right.
So our aim is to expand that way by issuing franchises.
Well, good luck with that. And I'm glad that we asked the question. But I think that's a great idea.
Thank you very much.
Listen, I know that you're busy, Ian. I'm going to leave you with a final statement. What else do we need to know about Goats in the City?
Well, Goats in the City is using nature to cure nature. So, for instance, where we operate, we eliminate or reduce the use of herbicides.
Okay.
Goats can go where people and machinery can't.
Right.
Underbrushes, clear out stuff that You don't even know you have tractors in that bush until the goats go through. Then you can clearly see what you have. So goats are amazing. You can be using any kind of terrain, steep slopes, around waterways and stuff like that. So we reduce the use of chemical, and we just do it the natural way.
I love it.
And that's what we're all about. And the next thing we do is to make sure that we're good with the community.
Mm-hmm.
We want people to love goats again, to take back nature into their lives,
It's been great talking with you, Ian. Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
It's a pleasure, Brock.
All right, and we'll talk again, and good luck with everything moving forward.
Thank you very much.
That was Ian Matthews. He's the owner of Goats in the City. If you happen to spot some goats in Kitchener last week, you weren't seeing things. They were brought in. 50 goats were brought in to help clear out some overgrown brush along Boniface Avenue. It was the MTO behind the idea, and it's not. It might have been the first, but it's not going to be the last time. So that's a great story. And as he was saying, looking at ways to franchise out into other parts of not only the province, but other parts of Canada as well. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Our goats are actually trained, and we start touching the babies from they're small, so they bond with people. They can be petted and stuff like that. And when the occasion allows, we allow people to get close because we want them to feel connected with the animals, and to be part of our future.
That was Ian Matthews, owner of Goats in the City, talking about this plan with a lot of cities in and around the area that are bringing goats in to handle overgrown brush, getting into areas, as he was saying, where humans can't necessarily go or machinery can't go. And he has a historical connection to it. He said growing up in Jamaica, he had upwards of 50 goats there. Became connected to them, came to Canada, got into the real estate business, but realized that there was a calling and came back to it. So Goats in the City, what they do is they have contracts with communities in Mississauga, the city of Toronto, here in Kitchener now. They're based in King City. And they come in. It could be a few hours of work. It could be a couple of days worth of work, and the goats come in and take care of things. So a really interesting story. When I first read it, I was like, "This is," you kind of chuckle at it, but you pull the lens back and you're like, "No, this makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense to be able to look at, as he said, nature taking care of nature." And he's looking into ways of expanding his business as well too. He's had calls from British Columbia to see if there's a way to get his workers out there. He said they're family, they're named, they make connections to them. He doesn't matter. People can go up and pet the goats if they're workers. They're working right at that moment, but they may take a break. You need to ask, right? Got to ask before you just go ahead and start petting the goats. Andre, you're on the phone again. What's up? What's on your mind?
Very well said. Ask before you pet.
Yes.
Great story. Thank you for this segment and for taking my call because I'm a goat lover since I was a baby. Same thing. Everywhere I go, if there's a goat, I can spend an hour, especially at Waterloo Park back in the days.
Yeah.
I always had goats there, and I would spend so much time. They're like unbelievable. They're like unicorns, like the creature that doesn't exist, but they do exist, and they're just such amazing, right? Like innocent, but like attitude sometimes.
Yeah.
But to his story, it kind of reminded me, sorry for the joke, but Eli Moss, where he wakes up off the couch and suddenly he's just a billionaire, and I think this guy, Ian Matthews.
Yep.
Yeah, he's. I don't know if he's ready for this, but this is huge. Like, I'm blind. Other people are handicapped. People don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
And this is environment friendly.
Yes.
And goats, they love doing what they do, and it's good for us. No gas, no electric,
Nope.
You get to pet them before they start doing the job, and then, wow, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really wish that I'm going to contact them and that I can hopefully be part of his franchise, because we love the nature, we love animals, and just like kids, they're innocent.
Yeah, and as you said, and what Ian had said too, they've got personality, they've got maybe a bit of an attitude, but you're absolutely right, and it might be sort of an old world idea, and at first people look at this and they're not familiar with it, but that doesn't mean that it's not a great idea, and I appreciate the call, Andre. If you're going to check it out, Goats in the City, if you Google that, you'll be able to get in contact with Ian, and you'll be able to get some more information there as well. We'll take another quick break. After the 11 o'clock news, we're going to be speaking with Brendan Daisley from the University of Guelph, talking about honeybees dying off still at record rates, what can be happening, what can be changing. At the same time, it's serendipitous because the city of Waterloo just posted a bunch of information on how to help the pollinators. So that's going to be happening at 11 o'clock this morning. 11:30 this morning, it is the monthly mental health check-in with Helen Fishburne. She is the CEO of the CMHA Waterloo Wellington. We're going to talk about heading back to school and what does that mean for people and how are they feeling. There's a lot of topics that we're going to be covering at 11:30 as well too. Noon, it's your chance. It's Talkback. There are so many things that are on people's minds right now that they want to talk about. It is still extremely hot out there. Please take time to stay hydrated and to look in on your neighbors. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. Got a few minutes before we get to the top of the hour. Going to cross a few more things off our list of 100 ways to live a cool life. This next one says, send a motivational note to an Olympic athlete. Well, I'm going to do one better right now. A big shout out to my good friend Ollie Baker from Nova Scotia. His mom was in our wedding party, and Ollie is currently rowing for Canada in Paraguay at the Pan Am Games. He just came in second in his singles heat earlier today, so hats off to Ollie Baker. Good luck moving forward. So there you go. That's my little shout out, my motivational note to an elite athlete at the Pan Am Games. Olympic athlete, could be in his future. Tell a funny story that embarrasses you. I do that on the daily. Check on friends when they're under the weather. We've talked about that already this morning, that idea of this weather, this heat. We don't think about it. I said to my wife yesterday, this heat it makes you sick in some ways. Just, you need to lay down and take it easy. You don't realize how much it zaps you. So take some time to check in on your friends. Ask questions and don't just talk about yourself. Hello. Growing up, this is one I've struggled with. I'm still 56, and I think everybody must think that I live a really cool life because they ask me questions all the time. And it wasn't until about 20 years ago where I finally went, wait a second, Brock. If they're asking you questions, they might want you to ask questions of them. Don't just talk about yourself. I struggle with that one. You know why? Because I'm the baby of the family. I'm just a baby. Wear clothes that don't suit you. A comfort zone thing. Open a box in your cupboard to see what you've stored in there. Oh my. It might be a good idea to check the best before date. Write a haiku. I'll have to double check the rules around that one. pick up garbage with gloves and place it properly, right? So you see garbage out in the community, not your own garbage. I mean, you should be picking that up anyway. But if you see it somewhere, get some gloves on, pick it up. I like this next one. We'll finish with this one. Take a walk with no destination. Just open your front door and go. There are so many amazing things. My friend Craig, who's part of the Fearsome Foursome, that's what he does on the daily. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We will get an update from the newsroom. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code KELLER20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code KELLER20.
Brock Greenhalgh in for the vacationing Mike Farwell this week. He will be back in the building on Monday, so never fear. Despite tighter restrictions on antibiotics used in Canadian beekeeping, honeybee deaths, the rates are still rising. A new study out of the University of Guelph is the first large-scale project to look at antibiotic usage trends and their impacts on honeybee health here in Canada. Dr. Brendan Daisley is the lead author of the study, and he joins us this morning. Thanks for giving us some of your time today.
Hi, Brock. Thanks for having me. Really great to be on the show.
So in the study, you mention antibiotic use in beekeeping has dropped by 50% over the last 7 years. Government initiatives, all of those kinds of things. What impact did that decrease have?
Okay, so that drop, it went from about 50% usage nationwide to around 25%. And so alongside that antibiotic drop, we saw mortality rates increase from around 20% on the national scale to 40%.
Wow.
So essentially doubled. So there's a really nice tight correlation there.
When you take a look at this, what other factors are impacting the bees?
Well, so, I mean, I guess a good thing to kind of back up and think about is, like, why are antibiotics used in the first place, right, in beekeeping? And that's because infectious disease is one of the leading causes of bee mortality. There's often three major factors involved. One of them is infectious disease, like I mentioned. Another is pesticide exposure or other kind of toxin exposures. And lastly is kind of climate change or lack of available forage. So, not enough forage conditions or natural environments for them to find food.
So we're trapped in this catch-22, aren't we?
Yeah, big time. So the interesting thing is that antibiotics are used preventatively in a lot of cases in the beekeeping industry, and it's because once a disease happens, it's really hard to kind of recover from that. So the trend is just to use antibiotics preventatively. And the whole push from the World Health Organization that started in 2015 and it was implemented by the Public Health Agency of Canada in around 2018. And that push was basically to reduce unnecessary usage of antibiotics.
Right.
So something a lot of people aren't familiar with is that, that about 70% of all antibiotics used worldwide is coming from the agricultural industry. So things like farm stock and things like that. And so obviously reducing that is good, right? And this shows, what's really cool is this study showed that, these public changes have worked. antibiotic usage has been reduced in the beekeeping industry, at least. But through reducing that usage, we're seeing that the bees are being impacted more by infectious diseases now. And the real issue is we don't have alternatives. Right. So you can't really just go cold turkey off antibiotics when when the bees kind of have been adapted to them or have become dependent on them for such a long period.
How do you I was going to say, how do you find sort of the middle ground? What's the step forward? Yeah. So 100%. The step forward in my mind, and kind of what we're trying to look at is finding alternatives. Okay. And one of those alternatives is using things like honeybee-tailored probiotics. We know how good probiotics can be for human health and how much they can help gut health and kind of help recover from antibiotics. And, in a lot of ways, bees have kind of a similar setup inside of their gut, just like we do. They have a core microbiota. So basically these beneficial microbes that help support them and help basically degrade their digest their food and help protect them from infections. But antibiotics can kind of ruin that microbiota, right? So like you said earlier, it's a big catch-22. We need the antibiotics to help them fight infectious disease, but at the same time, it's destroying their microbiome. So we're coming at it from an angle of basically trying to restore microbial homeostasis, or the balance between good and bad bacteria. Bad, right, okay. At the core of the entire issue, you think about this in the big grand scheme of things, the real issue is bad bacteria, right? It's like we're using antibiotics in the first place to help control the bad bacteria. Right. So our research kind of going forward, and where I see a lot of promise is developing ways to modulate or kind of restore that good bacteria and keep it at high levels in abundance to kind of outcompete the bad bacteria. Because and through doing that, it's more sustainable as well. Right. I was going to say antibiotics aren't going to go into the system and say, well, you're good, and you're bad, and we're going to only come after the bad. That's the issue that you're at. If we zoom in sort of on a local or a personal level, are there things that we could be doing as individuals to improve the lives of bees and increase the populations? Yeah, pollinator gardens are always very helpful to help not only honeybees but also native pollinators and beyond just bees, things like butterflies as well. These things are all good. I think really though we just need some systemic change. We need a lot more funding to go towards molecular level biology in terms of helping the pollinators, bees, and the like, and really to understand the microbiome and the balance between those good and bad bacteria better. We started an initiative in 2022, the Canadian Bee Gut Project, which we're working with beekeepers all across Canada to sample honeybees in the fall and spring months each year, and to learn and understand the microbiome of bees better. And hopefully that can not only improve the health of honeybees, but also other pollinators as well, such as bumblebees and butterflies. And you've done your research, and it's been a long time. You've been working on this for years, and that research now goes out to your colleagues. It goes out to other people around the world. Have you had some feedback already from it? Yeah, I mean, the feedback is always, a lot of people are really interested, especially in the microbial component of our research, because, it's this unseen world, right? Right. It's this microbial world, and it's happening, every day, but we just don't see it. And the big issue is that we might actually be kind of facing this microbial apocalypse that we're just not seeing because it's invisible, right? Right. And basically, we're trying to take the first steps to developing baselines and characterizing what a healthy microbiome or a balanced homeostatic microbiome looks like in bees. And so I think a lot of people are really interested, especially when they become kind of familiar with how important the microbiome is to supporting health. And I did some background. You are the person to go to, it sounds like, when it comes to this sort of information. Can we call on you again? Yeah, absolutely. All right. I would love to update you with the Canadian Bee Gut Project in a year or so when we get findings from that, and go forward from there. That sounds great. Thanks. I know you're busy, and I don't want to keep you on your time, but we're going to keep the conversation going on this side. Thanks so much for giving us some of your time today.
Thanks so much for having me. Have a great day.
You too. That was Brendan Daisley of the University of Guelph talking about the bee population and bee gut health and looking at all of those pieces. We'll keep the conversation going. We do need to take a quick break. Stay with us, though, and you can weigh in. You can give us a phone call as well, too. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll-free 1-800-570-5715. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Through reducing that usage, we're seeing that, the bees are being impacted more by infectious diseases now. And the real issue is we don't have alternatives. So you can't really just go cold turkey off antibiotics when when the bees kind of have been adapted to them or have become dependent on them for such a long period.
That was Dr. Brendan Daisley from the University of Guelph. He is an expert when it comes to bee gut health, specifically looking at honeybees that are struggling right now. Populations continue to die off. They are looking at the impact that antibiotics have had on honeybees, the idea that without the antibiotics, the bees are susceptible to all kinds of issues. With the antibiotics, it creates a whole other list of problems. We're going to continue to check in with him over the next year or so as they continue their research. Here's the good news. Waterloo is the 12th bee city in Canada. City of Waterloo currently leading several community programs and initiatives that support healthy native pollinator populations. Community park projects include things like garden beds and living fence buffers and pollinator fedges all around the community. Vegetable gardens, removing invasive plant species, community planting of wildflowers, trees, and shrubs. New initiatives such as the city's Green Burial provides a natural means of caring for the deceased with minimal environmental consequences. So organizations and municipalities are all working together. We've got the goats coming in to take part in removing some of the problem, and we're building things up on the other side. So there is some light at the end of the tunnel. But the other key thing to think about is one of the things that Brendan was saying was we asked that question about what can we be doing individually. Pollinator gardens, can't go wrong with setting up a pollinator garden on your property. One of the things that you'll notice as time goes on, the cost of honey just continues to skyrocket because of the impact on the honeybees. And we know that it's a measuring stick for other things related to the environment. So keep those things in mind. We'll take a quick break in a few minutes, but let's go back to our list. We're quickly getting to the bottom of the list. I'm going to have to come up with another one. This is, I'm happy with this one. I'll reword this a little bit. Be a poop disturber. Get in there and kind of mix things up a little bit sometimes. Ask the tough questions. Don't just settle for what you've been told. Smoke a cigar in a park. I don't know about that one. Write a telling email to a politician. Always a good idea. Politicians are there for you. They're doing your work. If they don't hear from you, they don't know what they're supposed to do. Well, I think they probably have an understanding of what they're supposed to do. Finally, in your mind, settle on your favorite color. Right? It's yellow. No, it's blue. Gray. Yeah. It's blue. Pick your favorite color and stick with it. Light a candle and remember someone, like that one. Solve the Rubik's Cube. This is a tough one, so take your time. I'm sure there are videos on YouTube that you can watch that will help you figure out how to solve a Rubik's Cube. People watch. It's one of my favorite things to do. Just sit back and take it all in and just observe. See what's going on around you. You're connected with everyone. Acquire a taste for new food to you. Right? You've got your old staples. Try some different things. Don't avoid the doctor appointment. You know who you are. Don't avoid the doctor appointment. Last one before the break. Make plans to have coffee with a friend at least once a month. I like that. Get out and do those things. All ways to have a cool life. I know you're already having a cool life, except when it comes to the current temperature outside, but we don't have to shovel it, right? And you got to think about all of the benefits as well, too. You want to just enjoy these days. As we said before, you sip it slow and the world stays sweet. Another way for you to keep track of everything. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break. We'll come right back. Give us a call. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell for the week. Paula had called a little while ago asking about where did I get this list of 100 ways to live a cool life. I found it in a file in a desk in the basement. There is a logo on it. I have looked up the logo with my Google search, looked up the name on it. Nothing's coming up. It just says at the top, cross it off your list. The first one just says, always butter the darkest side of your toast and 99 other ways to live a cool life. I don't claim to have created the list at all, but I will do some more digging. If I can't find it, I'll type it up, share it with you. I don't know as a fill-in if I have access to the Facebook page, but maybe Devin does, and he's my friend, and I'm going to cook for him. And maybe he'll put it on there, and you'll be able to check it out yourself. There's some that I don't agree with, and I've talked about this before. On the list, number 23, it says, do not move for cyclists or skateboarders on the sidewalk. And I'll tell you why I don't agree with that one. I mentioned this the last time I was on. There are times when I must ride my bike on the sidewalk for fear of death. So if I happen to be on the sidewalk on my bike and you're on there and you're not moving out of my way, don't worry. I'll skirt around you. But there are parts of the city where I will not go unless the only way to get there is on a sidewalk. Yeah. Or to tell an ex why you never want to see them again. Clear the air. I don't think I would want to go there. You might. Maybe that's in your wheelhouse. But no, I'll add it to the list. I'm just saying it's not in my way of living a cool life. I like the other ones, though. We'll keep going with those ones. 11:30 this morning, we're going to have a chat with Helen Fishburne. She is the CEO of CMHA Waterloo Wellington. And we're going to be talking about, I hate to say it, back to school time. It's not always an easy time for kids. It's not an easy time for parents. It's not an easy time for those kids that are moving out of the home to go off to college or university. We're going to have an idea about, well, what do we do? Do we have those conversations? We need to prioritize mental health during that time of transition. We know it can be exciting. We know that it's filled with anticipation as well, too, but it's also filled with stress. There are lots of things that are going to be coming up in that change of from August into September, but we will have the chance to chat with Helen about it, and we'll have her stick around for a while. Have her take us right until noon, if possible. That would be great. And then noon until 1, you know what happens. Talkback, your chance to weigh in, pull out the soapbox. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. We're going to get an update from the News Center. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.
Hi, I'm Will, and I created IQ Bar to empower doers like you with clean, delicious, low-sugar brain and body fuel. Millions of people rely on our protein bars and hydration mixes to win their day. Turns out Thomas Keller, Michelin star chef of the French Laundry, is one of them. We've teamed up with Chef Keller to craft a bar and hydration mix that marry world-class flavor with exceptional nutrition. Our special edition salted caramel chip bar delivers all the decadence of a fine dining dessert plus protein minus sugar and carbs. And our zero sugar yuzu mango hydration mix packs an authentic citrusy punch and a mental boost from lion's mane and magnesium. The best part? 10% of sales go directly to Chef Keller's nonprofit that supports aspiring young chefs. Great taste, great nutrition, great mission. Total no-brainer.
Go to IQBar.com today and enter promo code Keller20 to get 20% off all IQ Bar products plus free shipping. That's IQBAR.com, promo code Keller20.
Brock Greenhalgh with you this week as Mike takes some needed time to relax. We know that for him, back to school time means back to hockey time with the Kitchener Rangers, so give him a little bit of a break. It's time for our monthly mental health check-in. Helen Fishburne is the CEO of the Canadian Mental Health Association here in the Waterloo-Wellington area. She joins us this morning. Good morning, Helen.
Good morning, Brock. Great to talk to you this morning.
Great to talk with you as well, too. Thanks for giving us some of your time today. It pains me to say it, Helen. 10 months of the year I spend as a guidance counselor working with grade 7 and grade 8 students. So saying the words back to school isn't always my favorite thing to do, but we want to say it today. We want to take a look at it. It's coming closer. And we know that when it comes and we look at things through that mental health lens, we need to have some tips, don't we?
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of mixed blessings at this time of year. You know, there's a lot of happy parents,
Yes.
right? We know that. And everybody ready to get their kids back into routine and back into the structure that the school year provides. Again, whether your child is, you know, in elementary school or high school or even going off to college and university, no matter how old they are, everybody is looking forward to that routine, at least on the parent side. But for sure, for young people, right? It's anxiety provoking. People, you know, a lot of kids and youth get nervous and worried, and you know, it's also a little bit sad just to lose some of that, you know, unstructured time of the summer, right? Where you stay up later, you have a lot more fun, everyone's more relaxed. There's not those pressing deadlines of homework and assignments and things like that. So that part is a little bit sad too.
And I think too, I look at it. I mean, I'm on the other end of things now. I have two children. They're 20 and 24, and my wife and I have never called ourselves empty nesters. We've always used the term bird launchers because
that's great. Yeah.
They come back. That's the thing, Helen. But the times when they
launch your children, right? You know that they're doing well. They're into their next phase of life, and even though it's bittersweet, it is mostly joyful.
It is, and it's an adjustment too from the parents' perspective. When both boys were out of the house, you know, we're looking at each other. It's like, hey, I remember you from 18 years ago. But it is that idea of it's change, and I think you've sent over some notes. The idea of starting with a conversation, that's got to be the first thing to do.
That's always the first thing, honestly, Brock, is just no matter how old your child is, and my kids are adults as well, so it's really like, how are you doing? Mm-hmm. What are the things you're excited about? What are the things you might be worried about? And honestly, as a parent, just listening without judgment. It isn't about us in those moments, right? About our feelings. Exactly. It's about our kids and how we can create that safe space. And then, of course, just to normalize their worry, their anxiety, their nervousness, because it is completely normal. You know, transitions are a very difficult time for many people in life. No matter what you're transitioning from to, you know, there's always a heightened sense of anxiety during that time. So validating those feelings and just letting them know that it's okay and it's really normal to feel that way, I think is so important. the other thing that's important too, Brock, is just reintroducing those routines, right? As
right.
we say goodbye to summer and some of those really lovely extended bedtimes and not having that structure, which has been lovely, but it is also time to say, okay, we've got to get back into that. So trying to do that before the school year hits, even that last week into the school year, right, where we're starting to reduce screen time, starting to get into more regular bedtimes and wake-up times, some healthier eating, just, getting kids even, it's starting to pack some lunches and getting your mindset shifted with some of those routines is really important. And then it's also important to potentially even go back to the school, or if it's a new school, reintroduce that space, right? So
Right.
get familiar with the space, meet the teacher, say hello to the principal, walk around the playground, because those things can really help a child or youth prepare mentally, physically. And then, of course, the last thing is just counting down to the excitement together. So
Right.
it is an exciting time, and we want to make sure that even though our child might be apprehensive, might be nervous, might be fearful around some of that change, we're excited for them as well. So, counting that down, celebrating those moments, and then really getting them off to school in a really good way, positive way, despite the worry that they might have, which you're also going to hold some space for, right? And just creating that momentum, I think, is really, really important for parents as well.
All great information. I would think too that if it's if it's a change in a routine in some way, practice taking the city bus or practice taking the LRT if you've never done that, and that's going to become part of your routine. Or, as you said, go for a walk over to the school, just mapping it out in your brain as to how long does it take to get there, what's it like, has anything changed since you were there before. It's important for us to get, as you said, get familiar with the space. And especially with younger children, they want to feel welcome in those areas. So, and even the older kids, right? Go for a tour, go back to the campus, take a drive around, get involved in doing some back to school shopping and being a part of it all. Are you willing to stick around for a little while, Helen?
Yeah, I sure am.
Okay, we should take a quick break, but when we come back, we've got lots of other things we want to talk about, don't we?
Awesome.
Okay, we'll do that. We'll take a quick break. Give us a call if you have any questions for Helen or for myself. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell. Toll free 1-800-570-5715. Stay with us, though. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh with you this week as Mike has some vacation time. We're in the middle of our monthly mental health check-in. Helen Fishburne is the CEO of the Canadian Mental Health Association here in the Waterloo-Wellington area. She joins us this morning. We're talking about getting back to school and routines and all of those changes that might be happening with our kids, no matter how old they are or how young they are. I guess the other question is, what should we be looking for related to maybe some possible shifts in our children's mental health? If it's something more than just a little bit of nerves getting back to school, what should we be looking for, Helen?
Yeah, that's a great question, Brock, and it really is challenging sometimes with kids because there's such a range of behavior that we see with kids. And these days it is difficult to kind of normalize that, right? Because we're really trying to embrace the diversity of all the kids and youth in our community, right? Rather than, stereotyping people or doing the shoulds on people, right? So we want to give kids a lot of room to be themselves.
Right.
To really, express their emotions and, tolerate some of their behaviors as well as they adjust to anxiety and worry. Every child and youth is unique in that. So that's the first thing. There isn't necessarily, here is one thing that applies to everybody. That doesn't really work.
Exactly.
What we're really encouraging parents to do is, you know your child best. You know the baseline of your child, right? And for some kids, they might be very quiet, and they're tending to even withdraw even more. There might be other children or youth that are actually very outgoing, very extroverted, and you might see more behavior that's dysregulated, right? So I think what we're really suggesting is to look for a change in your child's baseline.
Okay.
It might, that might be displayed through outbursts or mood swings, or internally focused. They've got stomach aches or body aches, so they're taking that worry and they're expressing it internally. There could be things like persistent nightmares or lack of sleep, or they're just kind of withdrawing from the regular things that they would take joy from. And you're going to see those changes as well. So change in appetite as well are other things, right? So when you think of your child, you think of the baseline. You're looking for things that, spark a worry in your own mind that you want to pay attention to. Something doesn't feel right with my child. And then again, really start to pay attention to that, have conversations about that. School can be a time of big emotions, but small actions can make a big difference when you're a parent.
Absolutely. And it may be your child may not be able to tell you what's going on. There's just something it's not right. Something doesn't feel right. And as you said, it's a tummy ache or that's a way of coping. But you as a parent, we talk about that, sort of spider sense. Something's going on, something's going on, and you want to get to the bottom of it. If someone finds that they're at that point, how does CMHA Waterloo Wellington step in? Yeah,
so I think if you're at that point and you're worried about your child and you feel like they need some professional support, the first thing to do is honestly pay attention to that. I often think of this, Brock, if you have a toothache and you know that pain is there, we don't avoid calling the dentist, right?
Right, absolutely.
The toothache keeps you up. You know that it's going to turn into an abscess if you don't do anything about it. It's the same thing for our mental health, right? So pay attention to that pain. Maybe some Tylenol might help, maybe some other things that might help. But you know that pain isn't going to go anywhere, and in fact, it could get deeper. Right. So reaching out to whoever makes sense to you in terms of your family and your level of comfort. You might, for example, have just an amazing family doctor that you feel really comfortable with, and you want to go and talk to that family doctor. Either bring your child or not, depending on the circumstance. You might have a great child and youth worker at your school that your child or youth feels comfortable with. Or you might want to call one of the children's mental health agencies in our region. So over here in Guelph, Wellington, it's CMHA, and we have a walk-in service available. We also have here 24/7, which is literally, you can call our service literally 24/7. Our walk-in services are on Tuesdays. On Waterloo region, there's Front Door, which of course Camino and Starling and many other providers are part of. So there are many opportunities to seek professional mental health support for your child and youth as well under the age of 18. And all of those services are funded. We have some great counseling providers here locally, right? So
right.
I think what I always like to suggest, though, is really where do you feel the most comfortable? Where would your child feel the most comfortable? And pick that pathway that works for you. There's often parents have EAP services, right? So employee assistance programs where they can reach out to a counselor. And again, that counselor might be somebody that's new to the family, and that's okay too because that's where their comfort is.
Right.
So whatever feels right, but I think the most important thing in that, Brock, is don't sit with the discomfort and the worry without reaching out to get that help and support, because that help and support is definitely available.
100%. And as you said, that if you're sitting there with a broken arm, you're not saying, well, it'll get better.
That's right.
And I think we have and you would know better. We're starting to normalize conversations when it comes to mental health. I can see that someone's broken their arm. I can't necessarily see that something's going on in their brain, and it could be who knows what's going on. But parents need to know that they're not alone.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the number one barrier for mental health accessing care for mental health and addictions continues to be stigma.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely right. We've made progress, and certainly the pandemic was the great equalizer for us in mental health, because all of a sudden everyone personally understood what it felt like to be incredibly anxious and worried overnight.
Absolutely.
Right? So that created a whole different landscape for us in mental health. But we're not there yet.
No.
There's still so much more that we need to do to get people comfortable with the discomfort around mental health. And we need to continue to normalize these conversations and treat mental health in the same way we would treat a physical health. If you know somebody's had surgery, if you know someone's broken an arm, if somebody has cancer treatment, you ask about things, how you're doing.
That's right.
How are you feeling? Do you have the support you need? Can I bring a meal over? Right? And we really want to encourage that same narrative, that same comfort for mental health and addictions, because even though you may not be able to see it in the same way, you know that that's a painful situation for that person and they're struggling. So the response from us as support needs to be exactly the same.
Helen, thank you for doing the work that you do.
Oh, thank you. We'll pass that on to my amazing team and, frankly, my amazing partners who all work in this space too, Brock. There's so many dedicated professionals, mental health and addictions workers across Waterloo Wellington. I'm really proud to be part of that network. So many people out there caring for a really, the mental health and addictions needs of our communities have only increased. So there's so much work to do out there, but we have so many good people doing it. So I will certainly pass that along.
And we're going to leave it at that. And thanks for giving us your time today. I know that Mike appreciates you coming on as well, and you'll be chatting with him again in September.
That sounds great. In the meantime, you enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thank you so much. Take care.
You too.
That was Helen Fishburne. And just having the conversations around mental health and getting rid of the stigma. We can continue to have those conversations if you like. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free 1-800-570-5715. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. A little bit of Zydeco to keep you going. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell. The clock on the wall says it's almost that time. Almost that time for Talkback, where you get to take over the airwaves, share your thoughts, your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, your complaints, all of those things. 519-570-2545 gets you on the air. Star 570 works as well, too, as well as 1-800-570-5715. Give us a call. We've got an entire hour dedicated to listening to what you've got to say. And it's a great way to finish off the day. Day number 2 of this week, by the way. Lots coming up the rest of this week. After this, I'm going to make my way to the big city. I'm going to go and watch the Toronto Blue Jays take on the Chicago Cubs. Big game tonight. National League, American League tilt. Our friends have invited myself and my wife to the game. Looking forward to spending some time with them. We're going to be smart about it. Drive down to Aldershot, get on the GO train. Let the GO train take care of things trying to get into the big city, because that is one place I don't want to be driving around in on a day when it's 31 degrees Celsius without the Humidex. Get there, enjoy some loony dogs or 2 or 12, and enjoy some baseball. Turn around. Means tomorrow morning I might be a little slow on the uptake. Take it easy on me tomorrow morning. Getting up at 5:30 to get here, to get the show done. Probably not going to get to bed until about 1 o'clock in the morning, doing the math, 4.5 hours. Not enough. I'll try not to be grumpy, but stay positive. That means after the show tomorrow, I'll skedaddle out of here, go home and have a nap so that I am bright-eyed and bushy-tailed to join the other three of the fearsome foursome for the Only Use Your 7-iron golf tournament over at the Badlands. Scott and Craig and Greg, I'm counting on the three of you, especially if I'm a little sleepy. And I was contacted again later in the day yesterday, once I was done work, by one Brian Burke, asking me who was in my foursome. I have a strange feeling he's trying to match up our foursome with his group, thinking that we're easy pickings. Pfft. Little does he know. We'll see what happens. Apparently, we have to pitch it over a 16-foot high unicorn on one hole, putt blind on another hole, chip little rubber duckies into a basket. It's going to be fun, though. It's all for a good cause. I don't know what as he said, up to $1 million in prizes, but up to does include the number 0. If you get the chance, make sure that you check out the GoFundMe page. Yahtzee Runs for Hope, YATZI. The number has gone up since we have been talking about it, and it's moving in the right direction, but we can use your help as well, too. Stay with us. We'll get an update from the news center, but when we come back, talk back. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570.
Take out the papers and the trash, or you don't get no spending cash. If you don't scrub that kitchen floor, you ain't gonna rock and roll no more. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
Just finish cleaning up your room. Let's see that dust fly with that broom. Get all that garbage out of sight, or you don't go out Friday night. Yakety yak.
Don't talk back.
You've got that right. It is the Talkback Hour here on the Mike Farwell Show. Your chance, rant, rave, shake your fist at the clouds, whatever you need to do. It's been building up. The release has got to happen. Grant, you're first up today. Grant, what is on your mind today?
Well, about mental illness. It's great that we got these services here, Cries and Counseling. Used to be called Cries and Counseling.
Yep.
They have a program where you can call them up. I can't remember. I think it's 3 days a week to speak to somebody at no cost.
Right.
Which is, I have anxiety, and during the pandemic, it got worse where for 6 months, I was afraid of the what ifs.
I hear you.
And it's difficult in telling people what your anxiety is like. I decided many years ago to eliminate the news. CNN, they just 24/7 talk garbage.
Right, it's
the only
nonstop.
news I listen to is your news, and now that you know, and then I also have a lot of Christian uplifting books that I'll read a paragraph here, paragraph there,
right.
And
it makes a difference. It makes a difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it doesn't happen overnight in retraining your brain.
No.
And
well, I appreciate you sharing that, Grant, because that's what needs to happen. It has to be the conversation, and it's not just swept under the carpet or it's just not discussed at all. But thanks for sharing with that today, and I'm glad we started with that one. And Grant hit it right on the head. You know, that idea, the what ifs, right? Those creep into your brain, and they're tough to get out of as well, too. Ron, what's on your mind today?
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you wanted to know a trick about game. Well, I got a trick for you.
Okay.
Getting to the game tonight.
Yes.
So how are you getting down? Are you taking the GO train?
Going to take the GO from Aldershot down to Union.
Okay. Board the last train at the very end of the opposite way it's traveling. Get off that train.
Yes.
Head down to York Street.
Okay.
Go down the stairs.
Yep.
Then you want to head left again and head towards the buildings where you go outside and you start seeing the crowd starting to go across the street.
Yep.
At York. Don't do that.
Okay.
Go into the building.
Just
the
writing this
glass
down.
building. You'll see an escalator. Go up the escalator and just follow that path.
Oh, yeah. It's been years since I've been on that path, but it's actually called Path, isn't it? Like
Yes, it is.
PATH. Yeah.
It's part of the path.
Yes. All
And
right.
The nice little thing is, number one, it's air conditioned.
Yes.
Number two, you don't have the crowds.
Right.
And number three, you'll be able to go right on through, just continue following the path till it gets you out into the, what's it called, skywalk.
Yep.
What's left of it. And then you can, yeah, I know, it makes me laugh too. Then you go behind the CN Tower, and I found that this is a better way.
Okay.
You go behind the CN Tower, and then you come up to an area where you'll see like an elevator, you'll see stairs.
Yep.
Continue on, go up the ramp, and you'll get to gate 4 or 5.
Okay.
You can enter in there.
Perfect. Thanks for the information.
You know how long it takes?
How long?
About 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Are you going to the game tonight, Ron?
No, I'll be at the game tomorrow, lining up and waiting in the heat, sweating because I'm getting one of the bobbleheads.
You got to get your bobblehead, and I'm hoping to get a hot dog or two. We'll see what happens. That's important information, Ron. Thanks for sharing that. And anything else on your mind today?
No, just go Jays go.
Go Jays go. I appreciate it. It's been a while. There's been the times where we've driven down. I'll take my brother to a game. Usually his birthday's in September. Usually take him to a game. He's in a wheelchair. So what we normally do is park underneath Rogers Center and come up the elevator. So using the path with my wife and I tonight and our friends. Thanks, Ron. I appreciate that. Kyle, my friend, what's on your mind for today?
I really hope that Air Canada does not go on strike because I'm leaving in a month to go to Europe for vacation for 2.5 weeks.
Oh boy.
And no, that's okay. You know what? If they strike, you know what I'm doing? I'm just going to swim. That's it. I'm going to
swim across. I hear you.
That's right. I booked my ticket or I booked my vacation already. I will get there no matter what. If I have to take a rocket ship through NASA and end up on the other end taking a parachute down, I will do that. The other thing is Brock, you're going to the Jays game.
Yes.
If you wait long enough, they might put this tunnel in between Kitchener and the Jays.
Give me a break.
I mean, I don't know. I got nothing to say to that because it took my girlfriend and I 4.5 hours a month and a half ago to get to the Jays game.
Yeah, no.
And you take the GO. Well, there's no two-way all-day GO station from Toronto to Kitchener.
No.
There's no 407 all the way from our area to Toronto. There's no tunnel. There's nothing. I mean, it's a joke. And then Doug Ford's talking about building this tunnel. Well, why doesn't he just get his act together and start actually putting effort into getting a 2-day all-way GO transit, my friend? Because I'm telling you, if the Blue Jays win the World Series and I miss the first inning because I can't get in, I'm not going to be a happy camper. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
But you enjoy those Toronto Expos. I tell you, they're gonna win. They're on their way, and I'll be looking for you on TV, my friend. Thanks a lot.
If you're watching closely, I'm going to be the one that with 2 fistfuls of hot dogs running out onto the field trying to kiss all the ball players, just like Morgana, the kissing bandit, used to do. No, I probably won't do that. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. It's your chance to talk. Give us a call. We're going to take a quick break, but stay with us. You're listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh sitting in for Mike Farwell this week. Never fear, he will be back on Monday. It is the 12 o'clock Talkback Hour. This is your chance. Let us know what's on your mind. Roxanne, it's your turn. What's on your mind today, Roxanne? Hi, Roxanne.
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. What's on your mind today?
Well, since we're in the topic of back to school,
yes,
I'm just going to pull over so I'm a little safer.
Smart.
The topic of back to school. Okay, so I just moved into a different area, so my kids naturally have to go to another school.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not familiar with the area, so I do a quick search to see what school they're supposed to go to, and it takes you to the province website, Ontario.ca School Finder.
Okay.
The School Finder takes you to 3 different schools, so I go to the closest one. I'm able to register my kids at the end of the year last year.
Yeah.
Come to find out, they're not going to have transportation because, according to the school board, it's Thames Valley. That is not the correct school that they go to.
Oh. Okay.
So, yeah, and there, of course, the superintendent says, well, you have to go to the school board website. How am I supposed to know what school board if I'm not from the area?
Right. If I can give you maybe a little bit of direction off air. What I'll do is I can give it to you if you want to check. If you don't mind me asking, are you in like the Kitchener-Waterloo area?
Yeah, we just moved outside of town. We do currently know what school they are supposed to go to now, but
okay.
The issue really is, I mean, if you're in a new area,
mm-hmm.
you're looking for the school for your kids to go to. You don't have any neighbors. I'm in a very rural area. I'm not just going to go knock on doors. And you go right to the School Finder on the province website. Yeah. The provincial website is not giving you the correct school, but it does give you 3 schools. What is the School Finder for, if not to find the correct school for your child based on your address? Right,
and you don't want to be walking around just like willy-nilly looking around saying, well, what's the closest school? Where are they going to be at?
Right, exactly. So I finally get a hold of Thames Valley. Well, I get a hold of the bus transportation, STS, and they said, well, we don't provide transportation to that school. You have to go to a different school, which is 2.5 kilometers from my house.
Give me a break.
So I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. I called the school board. And the school board says, well, you have to go to our School Finder on our school board website. And I said, well, how am I supposed to know what school board it is if I'm not from the area?
No. Then it's, it just, and then you'll be on to the next one after that.
Yeah. So, I mean, and you also just did a segment on mental health.
Yes.
My kids are, of course, very nervous. They're starting a new school. They'll be fine once they start.
Right.
But this would lessen the anxieties, knowing what school. We already did a tour at the other school.
Yeah.
Now we have to go to a new school.
Right. Start all over again. Well, good luck with it. And again, if you know where you're headed, if there's any issue, call back in because I work for the WRDSB. So it's
okay.
And anyway, we can talk about that.
Awesome.
And if you need off air, we can do that.
Awesome.
But anything else that's on your mind today, Roxanne?
No, that's it. Thanks so much.
No problem. I appreciate the phone call. Ernie, what is on your mind today, Ernie?
Hey, how's it going?
Very well. And you?
Good. I couldn't chime in yesterday about the summer job, about like your best summer job
Yeah.
you ever had. So I'm 41 now, but I had in high school, I grew up like just outside of Tillsonburg, so I worked in tobacco fields a lot.
Oh, is your back still sore?
It still hurt. My back still hurts when I hear that word. Yes. So, I was going to say, like, you're going to think I'm going to say it's negative. I absolutely loved it. We had a group of, I had my friends in the fields with me in the priming machine, and if you worked really hard and really fast, you didn't get paid by the hour. You got paid when that kill was full.
Right.
So there were certain days we'd be done at 11:30. Our latest day would be like 1:30, and then you have the whole day to spend on the beach. And don't get me wrong, like my dad, he had a farm, and when I left his farm, it was so much better because your work never ended when you were on Dad's farm. But when I went to the other tobacco farmers and I left, and he'd be like, "What are you doing home?" He's like, "Yeah, you got stuff." I'm like, "No, I'm going to the beach."
Oh,
You're
my.
not my boss anymore. So that was, and you know what? You got in great shape. Yeah, like a lot of the fields are dried up now, but you got paid really good, especially as a student going to high school.
Right. But you had to work, and you guys did. You worked it, and you made sure that you got it all done because you knew there was something beneficial at the end of it all.
We're just like, so we spent so many days at Long Point, Turkey Point on the beach as soon as we were done. It was great. And quick little mention with that, too, a neat little fact. All our schools in that area, they would start a month later almost.
Oh, right.
Than everywhere else because the season would be, and all the kids would still be in the tobacco field.
Oh, my gosh.
So,
and that's not that long ago, Ernie.
No, it's a neat little quirk. I know a lot of those fields that, rightfully so, people can, apparently smoking's bad for you, right?
Apparently, that's what they say. Now, do you know if where you worked, are they vineyards now? What are they doing?
A lot of it is ginseng. A lot of it turns to different farm produce.
Okay.
my friend, he still owns like the biggest tobacco crop in that area. Like my buddy's dad, he was given a contract to keep going because they really liked him, but it's very, very sparse now.
Yeah, for sure. I've been down a few times, and it's changed quite a bit. So, but I appreciate the phone call, Ernie. That's great, and I'm glad your back is starting to feel better. And Ernie had called in about what we were talking about yesterday, that best or worst summer jobs, and Ernie was saying he's 41 now, but used to work in the tobacco fields down around Tillsonburg. Oh, my goodness. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll-free 1-800-570-5715. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. We've got a few people queued up here, so we're going to get to them before the break. Rudy, you've been patiently waiting. Rudy, what is on your mind today?
Hey, how you doing? Great day. I had several great summer jobs. That was many years ago, but I worked 2 summers at Bud Automotive. You remember that place?
Oh, yeah. It's changed over there.
Yeah, back then in the summer, I was making good money. I made enough in 2 summers to buy a brand new car.
And what did you buy, if you don't mind me asking?
It was a Volkswagen Rabbit back then for $6,500, fully equipped.
Oh, yeah. That's not a bad little ride to zip around in.
With a Blaupump stereo in it.
Oh, right. And it was manual transmission, I bet.
Yes, it was.
Nothing like learning how to. You got. If you're out there right now, learn how to drive a manual transmission, please.
Yeah, nobody can steal them.
No, exactly. What? And have you got another job that you want to tell us about?
Yes, I did, dude. I was in 1976. You had to apply for it. A junior forest ranger.
Oh, you and me both. I was for me it would have been 86. So we're close in age. Not a bad way to spend a summer. Didn't make any money though.
In 1976.
There you go.
Yeah, it was great. You got sent up to just around North Bay, Powassan.
All right.
Broad Lake for the summer with a bunch of guys. You got paid $10 a day. You got full room and board. They fed you like kings.
Yeah.
And it was great for the summer.
Great way to spend the summer. Appreciate the call, Rudy. Yeah, I did the same thing in 86. Rudy made $10 an hour or $10 a day. I got paid $15 a day, 1986, as a junior ranger for the Ministry of Natural Resources. Cliff, what is on your mind today?
Oh, I just wanted to warn you and your listeners, if you're traveling to Fergus, be careful, because just before Fergus, there's a bunch of wild turkeys on the side of the road.
Oh, boy.
I come around this corner, and I was watching my speed limit because there was a cop right behind me.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, I come around the corner, one of the birds flew up, hit my bumper, flipped over the hood, and smashed his windshield.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, but the son of a gun, he put his lights on, pulled me over, and he gave me a $122 ticket.
What was written on that ticket? I'm afraid to ask, Cliff. What was written on the ticket?
You flipped me the bird.
Cliff, man, oh man. I like that one. I was waiting. It's like the lure is just floating there in front of the fish, and I bit. I like that one, Cliff. I'm going to steal that from you. We still get a chance to give us a call, and we still have a crime that we're trying to solve here before the end of the day today for one David Schooley. Give us a call, 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll-free 1-800-570-5715. We'll take a quick break. We'll get an update from the news center. When we come back, we're going to take more of your phone calls. We're only halfway through Talkback. We want to hear what's on your mind. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570. Brock Greenhalgh in for Mike Farwell this week. Got about half an hour left in our Talkback segment. We're going to get to a few phone calls. I wanted to just place this in your brain again We talked about it a bit this morning. David Schooley called in and mentioned how the Kitchener Panthers had borrowed a barbecue, big grill, from the Portuguese club. They went back the next day. They were going to take it, return it to the Portuguese club. It had been stolen from their site over at Jack Couch Park. If you happen to have seen anything, we'd like to know. David Schooley would like to know, because that's an expense that they weren't really expecting. Someone had asked me the other day about my FIFA volunteer application, and I know the last time I was in a FIF and I were talking about it. So yesterday, I finally got the next email, and what you had to do at that point was apply again. So it was kind of like you applied to apply. So you applied again, then you also had to do like an assessment test. This is the email I got last night. Your application is officially in the back of the net. We're excited to have you on this volunteer journey. As you can imagine, there are a lot of amazing people eager to join this once in a generation experience. Timing of next steps might vary depending on your host city, so check out the timeline below. So I've only jumped over the first hurdle. The next hurdles, October through January, volunteer tryouts. Then they assign the roles December through February. They do training March through May. You get your gear May through June, and then the tournament. Wow, this is a big deal. Volunteer team tryouts. We'll see what that looks like. Toll-free J, number 812. Love that number. What's on your mind today, Toll-free J?
Well, just the beauty of baseball.
Ah, yes.
Radio baseball, especially, because when we have voices of comfort such as yourself, it actually remind me of a broadcaster from many years ago, Brock Doddington, used to be on CKGL.
Oh, wow. Thank you very much for that compliment. I'll take that as a compliment, Toll-free J.
He did country radio with Pat Murphy, Joyful Country, going back years.
Are you going to be listening to the game tonight?
Always, sir. And the thing is, I can't, because of my vision impairment, I rely on the comfort of radio, because you can never give enough detail in radio. That's why I'm very thankful for Dan and Ben Schulman.
Yeah, they do yeoman's work for sure. And it's I'm looking forward to it. It's the first game I've actually been to this year, which is awful. But I was recovering from knee surgery, so I was limited. But got a few more games coming up, and fingers crossed, we've got some playoff games to listen to as well too. Right, Jay?
Oh, sir. I always say, well, the thing is, what I do, I always expect a loss and hope I'm wrong. That way, it was never a waste of time listening to the game.
You enjoy your game tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Take care. That was Toll-free Jay. Love that. Kyle, what's on your mind today, Kyle?
I wanted to talk about the first jobs. You guys were talking about that.
Yes.
My first job was lining soccer fields, and I couldn't have been more proud or more happy to do that job, because the first month I had to get, I think it was like 30 soccer fields I had to get ready within like 3 weeks in the beginning of the year for they call it the West Niagara soccer tournament, which is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I was only responsible for the soccer fields in my area, so like Grimsby, Beamsville, Vineland, Jordan, like those areas.
Yep.
And it was like I'm telling you right now, like a heat wave like this was perfect, because I got paid no matter what.
Right.
So it didn't matter if I worked 7 days a week or 1 day a week. I got paid just that set rate.
Yeah.
And I loved it, because the soccer, like if I lined the soccer fields today, I could wait like 3 weeks right now, because there's no rain in it.
Not coming.
The line would still be there, right? So I came home with I forget how much money I came with, because it's probably like between $7,000 and $9,000 in the summertime that I worked.
Nice.
And I put all that money into, well, obviously school, but I always, on the side, my dad didn't really know, but I'd always come home with like new rims for the car,
oh.
exhaust pipe, and
yeah.
sound system. And and things like that, right? But I look at myself today and I was like, man, oh man, I'm glad I did it, because I couldn't be, nothing against the people that work at Tim Hortons or McDonald's or those fast food places, but I'd be way too stressed out. Where I was lighting a soccer field, I could listen to my Walkman at the time, enjoy life and stuff like that. So yeah, that was my first job. But the tobacco field, I think it was Ernie that called the tobacco field. My cousins worked in the same area that he did, and I heard the money that they came with, and I was like, man, oh man, I wish I lived in Tillsonburg area, because I was envious, right? Hard work, but it pays off in the end, So,
I appreciate the call. Yeah, and you, no problem. When it comes to your vehicle too, Kyle, you gotta pay yourself first, man. Afif, did you get the email? Where are you at with your application when it comes to the FIFA volunteers?
Oh, actually, that's the reason why I called. I didn't get it yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for that email, so I guess I'll have to wait for a few more.
Yeah, mine came. I'm going to just click on mine for a second, because I don't think it was right in the main inbox. It looks like it was in like a social. Check your spam. I know that when I went on the website last night, it was so slow. It took me quite a while to get through. And what you have to do is kind of like, it's almost like reapplying, but at least you're into the next level. So check your email when you're done work, and let's get on it so we can volunteer together.
Awesome, man. And I hope you become better with your knee, so that we can still be together.
Absolutely. I'm happy with the recovery so far. We did some walking around Montreal, and I couldn't have done that a year ago. So I think I'm going to be in good shape.
And I have one more thing, for mental health. I've had anxiety for the last I don't know, however long I've lived, basically. And a few months ago, I had a episode, and I went to a hospital, and all hospital did is just made me stay there for a couple of hours, and then let me go. I was like, that's it. And then they're like, you get an appointment in about 2 months. I was like, but I need help now.
Yes.
What do I do about that?
Exactly. And I don't know if you have a family doctor, Afif. If you do have a family doctor, go in and see them, and they will get you on the right track.
Yeah, that's the only way I got better now, because I called my family doctor, and they're like, we'll get you right away.
There you go.
So I talked to them, and they basically helped me out, so now I'm a lot better.
I appreciate you sharing that. Thanks so much for sharing that and calling in, Afif. It was 9 years ago, and I was at work one day, and I had no idea what was going on, and it was overwhelming, and I ended up having to go to the doctor, and walked me through everything. Talked about depression, talked about anxiety. 9 years ago, still dealing with it, and you find ways to make it work. And it's important to have those conversations. Listen, we're going to take another break. We'll come back, though. If you're on hold, don't go anywhere. Stay with us. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh's with you this week. Still got some time for some phone calls. If you got something on your mind, let us know what's happening. Mary, you're up next. What's happening today, Mary?
Oh, I just got a delivery here, and I don't know what's going on. Can you have a minute here, sir?
You're making the delivery guy wait.
Well, no, he doesn't like it. Take me on the next call, will you, Brock?
You for sure. Yeah, give us a call back, all right?
No, put me on.
Oh, she's gone already. I'll put her on the next call. Okay, well, call back, Mary. I don't know what happened there. I'm still learning all the buttons here. Greg, what's on your mind today?
Well, just to clarify, this is Fearless Greg.
Fearless Greg.
So, Burke's at it again, trying to skew something with you this morning?
Well, the message I got kind of around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon was, hey, who are the other guys in your group? And I told them. He's like, oh, okay, all right, got it, thanks.
Well, we signed up and I emailed him. That shouldn't be news to him, but that's why that got me. It's like, huh?
He's getting
way back. So
he's getting up there.
He's up to something shady.
Oh, yeah.
And then if he does put his group with ours, at least we can watch him not to cheat. That much is maybe good.
We'll keep eyes on him the whole time.
Yeah, so, and then now in your case, two things. If there's such a thing as takeout loony dogs, I would love you to take some out so we have some snacks during this round tomorrow. That'll be great the next day.
Sure they are. Yeah, pocket dogs.
Yep, see how it goes. And,
okay.
And then now as for this lack of sleep that you might be, here, listen to this. That's the excuse bag zippered shut.
Whoa.
No.
That's
We're
rough.
expecting big things out of the eyesight at the driving range. Yeah. So you set the bar pretty high.
Well, I appreciate that, Greg. I'll do my. You can count on me. Don't you worry. You can count on me.
Love it. Okay.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow evening.
Nice and wide open eyes. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Greg. Greg is one of the fearsome foursome, along with Scott and myself and Craig. And just watch out, Brian Burke. We're going to try this again. Mary, are you done with your delivery guy now? Mary, are you still there?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're off in the distance now. Come back to the phone.
I'm picking up the phone.
This is called multitasking, Mary.
Well, I know, but I never get anything from anybody, but it was my passport.
Ooh.
And I only applied last Tuesday. Anyway, let's get to the meat of the matter. You're very busy. This is going to be kind of a sappy call.
Do I need to get the Kleenex right now, the tissues?
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
But you brought up about in your 100 things.
Yes.
About, do you remember your first kiss?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I think I remember my first kiss, but this other kiss that I'm going to talk about was very exciting.
Settle down now, Mary. This is a family show.
I've just been reminiscing and thinking, oh my God. Anyway, I come from New Hamburg.
Yes.
Little New Hamburg, 1,500 people at the time, and we had a horse racing track.
Yes.
However, it would have been in the 50s. I would have been 16. The RCMP musical ride came to our little New Hamburg.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember that?
I do. Oh, I don't remember the 50s, but I do remember the musical ride. Was one of these gentlemen he was enjoyable to look at, Mary?
They all were.
Wait a second. We're just talking about the first one you kissed, not all of them.
No. That wasn't the first one, but it was the most memorable one. And of course, I'm sweet 16.
Yes.
I have been kissed, but hey, these are handsome guys.
Oh yeah. And they got a job. They're not your just poking around town and
but
hanging
I got
out.
to kiss one.
There you go, Mary. Do you remember his name?
Times. And I'll tell you, the Preston Scout House Band, those guys had beautiful legs.
Mary.
And I married one later. I didn't know about it.
Jeepers creepers, Mary. You need to write a book, Mary.
Well, that's what everybody says.
Yeah. I get to it. Stop getting if you got your passport that delivered, that means you're planning on going somewhere. So you got another story to tell.
I'm planning going to heaven.
Well, I think you got a straight shot there, Mary. I think you got a straight shot. Oh my goodness, Mary's telling us stories out of school here. Hoo-wee. But we appreciate the phone call, Mary. Speaking of phone calls, give us one. What's on your mind? We still have time for a few phone calls today. 519-570-2545, star 570 on your cell, toll free, 1-800-570-5715. Let's take a final break before the end of the show. You're listening to The Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio. Brock Greenhalgh for Mike Farwell this week. Toll-free Jay, you might have the last word of the day. What's on your mind?
Well, I just want to thank Buck for coming back to the Blue Jay games.
Yes.
And I know he's gone through struggles, and we miss Tom Cheek, and we truly are thankful that Buck is back and able to be with us.
100%.
Because I've listened to baseball since 1983, haven't missed a game, and I really am comforted by his voice.
Yeah, he's so knowledgeable. He's so and when you listen to him talk with the other folks, you can tell they genuinely care about each other, and they just all get along and they love what they do.
Absolutely, and even if we struggle, we'll struggle together.
Yeah,
but we can all cope when we have each other to cope with.
You're absolutely right. Well, let's cheer those Jays on tonight and all the way into the playoffs as well too. What do you have any sort of predictions for the game tonight? Like you said, you always think it's going to be a loss and then you're happy for a win.
I predict the team that scores the most runs will be run differential on that.
I love that. Thanks, Jay. You enjoy your day today. All right.
I worked for mental health for 17 years.
Well, so you know what you're talking about.
Don't tell too many people. It should be our secret.
Hey, I won't say a word to anybody.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Take care, Jay. Bye-bye. Toll-free Jay, calling back in, talking about Buck Martinez making his way back again from dealing with cancer. And great to hear that he was back on the broadcast last week. Heading down to the game tonight, I was just checking, because oftentimes you can see whether or not the dome will be open or closed. When the temperature's this high, I don't know. Can they close it and turn the air conditioning on really, really high? Cool it all down for us, all our little, we don't want to be out in the heat. I might wither away to nothing. Anyway, another shout out again to my friend Ollie Baker from Nova Scotia. His mom, as I told you earlier, mom was in our wedding party and is my wife's best friend. Her son, Ollie, is in Paraguay right now competing for Canada at the Pan Am Games. Came in second this morning in his heat, which means he gets to go again tomorrow. His mom and dad are down there. So Rob and Carolyn, all the best. They're enjoying being tourists right now and taking in all the sights and sounds of Paraguay. Keep your eyes peeled. One of the list of 900 of 100 things for us to do is to solve a petty crime. I'm not going to call the theft of a barbecue a petty crime. What I am going to do, though, is spread the word, keep your eyes peeled, let anybody know what you see, because that barbecue went missing from the Kitchener Panthers area from the Jack Couch Park area after the game the other day. So we can help out David Schooley make that happen. We can put a bow on the Tuesday edition of the show. Go out there and enjoy this day. And as Mike would say, be kind, everyone. You've been listening to the Mike Farwell Show on 570 News Radio.